Planning laws affect all of our lives wherever we live. And it's the planners who have to police the countless rules and regulations, dealing with everything from applications...
And the new house there.
Keeping builders on the straight and narrow...
We've given them the weekend to do it, nothing's happened, we're taking action.
And getting tough when it all goes wrong.
We'll see you in court.
They'll help you get the building up, but if you don't have permission, they could make you knock it down. This week, a new barn in the country looks suspiciously like a house.
One of the problems when I built this is I don't know how to build anything but a house.
A resident fights a development on his doorstep.
It virtually takes up half the garden. It's just too big.
And two Sicilians clash over a planning application.
He's made up his mind. It doesn't matter what he say, not over my dead body.
Across Britain, council planning officers rely on members of the public to alert them to suspected breaches of planning permission. In East London, John Ayres, the Borough of Barking and Dagenham's planning enforcement officer, is on his way to investigate just such a complaint.
There have been 4 complaints with alarming rapidity about a house that's having, or alleged to be having, an extension built on the back of the house. A lot of neighbours are very aware and they will ring the council and make a formal complaint if they think that there is any problem. Oh, is this it here? So that's a bit of a giveaway, really.
John turns up unannounced to inspect the extension for himself.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello there. Well, I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the outside.
Yeah, sure.
This is an extension to your kitchen, is it?
Yeah.
You haven't got planning permission for this, have you?
Yeah, everything.
You have got.
I got it. Yeah, I got
planning
it.
permission. You've got a planning permission. It seems a long building. That's all. It's nearly 6 metres long.
Simi Rana is convinced she has planning permission, as well as the OK from the building inspector.
Content inspector came here and everything.
What, the building inspector?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is I have to explain this to people that the building inspector, they look at how the building's built. You could build the Eiffel Tower in your back garden, and as long as that met the criteria for the actual construction of it, the building inspector would say that's fine.
But having building control approval is only half the story. Neighbour Graham Lewis wants to know how such a big building could ever have got planning permission.
You look out of our kitchen window and all you can see is a brick wall. You know, there's some extensions that are in keeping. They don't come out too far. When you look at that extension there, I mean, it virtually takes up, well, just over half the garden. It's just too big.
For Graham, the extension is an eyesore. But for Simi and her family, who've been saving for 5 years to extend their kitchen, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, this is our family house, and I want to extend my kitchen and make my house look better.
If John discovers that there's no planning permission, then the Rana's kitchen might have to be torn down. In North London, planning officer Fabien Bernard-Godin is dealing with a particularly tricky planning application. Gaetano Maddalena is a property developer who bought this terrace house with the intention of turning it into 2 flats. Although Fabien has recommended the scheme for approval, consent has been refused twice by the planning committee.
When was it last occupied?
Gaetano hopes his 3rd application is perfect.
Okay, and here?
On these stairs here, which are here, you go up, then you go down, yes?
You go up and you go down?
Yes,
So why do you need the stairs?
to go up and down. So what do you mean, why do you need the stairs? Because then you need to go up to the other room as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes?
Oh, yeah, fine. So that's going to be the main living room.
This living room with the kitchenette here, yes, along this side here.
Okay.
And the living room here. And then you have a toilet, bathroom downstairs here.
Gaetano believes that his application has taken so long because of one stumbling block: the strong case against the development made to committee by his next-door neighbour.
We got a next-door neighbour which is not happy, and when I approached him, he took it quite personal to say, well, you should have asked permission to me first. So far, we have lost quite a bit of money in this little project, just because there is a next door neighbor which he just doesn't like the idea of having two flats. He's made up his mind, it doesn't matter what, he say, not over my dead body.
Living next to Gaetano's development is fellow Sicilian Agostino Militello, a waiter who has been in the house for over 30 years.
When you convert a terrace house, the kitchen that is going to be on the first floor, it was attached to my bedroom. Now, this was not really the way it should be converted to the house.
For the last 8 months, Agostino has been continually fighting his neighbours' planning applications, and it's beginning to take its toll.
No one is listening. No one. No one.
You feel very emotionally upset.
Yes. Excuse me.
His wife, Cosima, has witnessed his battle.
For him, it's important. This is his home. It's the only thing he has. He has worked very hard for it. It's his castle, and he's defending it with all the means he has. And sometimes he feels that he hasn't. He's battling against a system that seems to be powerful.
Meanwhile, developer Gaetano is losing money on his investment because of the delay in getting planning permission.
That if the kitchen was going to...
So he has reworked the whole space in the hope that it will satisfy both Agostino and the council's objections.
Overthrew. We have redesigned the flat, which is going to be more costly to us and with more less valuable in a way where we're going to have kitchen lounge in both flats downstairs.
The maisonette.
The maisonette. One will be like a 3-floor maisonette, one will be a 2-floor maisonette. So in that way there, we won't be affected either one of them. So hopefully, third time lucky. Yes?
Third time, yes.
We touch wood, we hope. So we can wish
Thank you for
yeah?
the visit, and I'll see you at the committee.
With pleasure. All the best. Thanks
Bye.
for your time.
An application for a conversion should take less than 8 weeks, from first being submitted, and in this particular case it's taken 8 months.
Gaetano's third attempt to turn this terraced house into flats will go before a public planning committee in 2 days' time.
He's very keen, I'd say, to get his permission.
In East London, John is investigating the complaint about the Rana's kitchen extension.
07 building notices. Which one? Sil. Bottom two. Right, thanks so much indeed. This would appear to be the one. Let's have a look.
The contents of the case file are not quite what he expected.
In opening the file, there is a note here dated the 29th of June, and there are 2 questions on here. And the first question is, 1, is town planning permission required? And the answer is yes. And the second is, has town planning application been submitted? And the answer to that is no. So they haven't got planning permission. Now, I had a phone call this morning from a gentleman from the company that did the plans, and he's arranged to meet us around there this afternoon. So I may be able to discuss with him why the planning application wasn't submitted.
He's arranged to meet Jahanzib Looney, the couple's architect, to get to the bottom of the mystery.
Well, good afternoon, in fact, at last. How are we doing? All right, OK.
Jahanzib believed the Rana's kitchen extension would be allowed under permitted development. The amount a house can be enlarged without the need for planning permission. But unknown to him, the council had already extended the house's original kitchens and bathrooms back in the 1970s. This ate up most of the allowance.
Those extensions are additions.
Yeah.
Looking from here, it seems that they are part of the...
Oh, that's right. It looks like the original.
Has it?
It looks like the original fabric. I mean, you have to say, it looks like the original fabric.
was made. Yeah.
What's your client say about this then?
Well, they're okay with that.
That's right.
I told them that there's a mistake which has been made and we have to rectify it.
Yeah.
John advises Seamy that they should stop building until planning permission is resolved.
The difficulty is that if you carry on building and you submit a planning application and it doesn't get approved, then there are issues with what you would have to do with an extension that hasn't got planning approval. I need to tell you that's how it is, OK?
Okay, that's
All
fine,
right.
yeah.
OK?
Yeah, I know, I appreciate it.
OK, sure.
Yeah.
The Ranas now find themselves left with an unlawful, half-finished extension. They will have to apply for retrospective planning permission, but there's no guarantee that it will be granted. In North London, developer Gaetano Madalena's third attempt to get consent to convert this house into 2 flats is coming before the Public Planning Committee at the local town hall. Neighbour and fierce opponent to the plans, Agostino Militello, is worried that even 40 years of living in Britain has not prepared him for this moment.
All I got 3 minutes to talk there. My English is a broken English. It's not really very articulated. In 3 minutes, what chance do I have to read even later and make my point?
The outcome of Agostino's 8-month battle with his neighbour is now in the councillor's hands. All will be decided on how well both can put their cases. Developer Gaetano Madalena hopes that reducing his ambitions for the flats will ensure his application is finally passed. But objector Agostino Militello is not happy.
Mr. Militello.
Thank you very much. On flat 2, we have 1 bedroom, a 2 bathroom.
Yes.
And it's okay, yes, it's normal. 1 bedroom, a 2 bathroom.
There may be occasions when there are 2 people wanting to go to the bathroom at the same time, I suppose.
I know it is common now to have a bathroom per bedroom, but I don't know that there's been any other examples where there's actually been 2 bathrooms for 1 bedroom.
Agostino seems to have won over at least one of the councillors, but he needs a majority vote to win.
But rather esoteric.
The gentleman is bent in the idea. Bathroom is not. He tried to break the system and the regulations.
Mr. Militello, I think you've had your say. Is the applicant here?
Next up is Gaetano, accompanied by his architect, who must convince the councillors that this application is faultless.
The reason why we have 2 bathrooms is because upstairs it's ensuite bathroom on the flat, so downstairs if you have guests you need a toilet, so we might as well squeeze the shower there just in case. I don't know why Mr. Militello has got this crusade to win that he told me it's nothing personal against me, it's against the council. So, gentlemen, I leave that to you.
Because they should stop you.
Please. I think you have your say. I think it's about time to show a bit of respect.
Mr. Militello, we listened to you on 3 occasions. I don't think you need lecturers now.
That was not enough.
Time's up. Now the councillors must put aside the strong personalities and make a decision based solely on planning policy.
All those in favour, please show. That is carried on the chairman's casting vote. So the application is granted.
For the developer, it's 3rd time lucky. It's a close vote, but he's finally got his planning permission.
I was surprised because there were doubts about it, but here is Mr. Militello, which I don't know why he feels so angry. Yes? I'll send him a bottle of wine, I'll send him an apology letter. If there is anything which is not happy, any hours which my builder shouldn't be inconvenient him, I'll be very happy to try to make him happy.
With planning permission agreed, the conversion can finally go ahead. But this won't be the last the council see of the warring Sicilians. In East London, the Ranas have finished their kitchen extension. Although they still don't have planning permission, they've taken the risk, believing that it will eventually be granted.
This is her territory.
Yeah.
5 years of, thinking and 5 years of saving pennies, pounds.
Very happy. Yeah, very happy. I said that everything.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Hello there. This is the day for it.
The Rana's application for retrospective planning consent is being assessed by planning officers Tim Lewis and Hugo Marchant.
Have a look at plans. What have we got? 4.145. So it's 4.145. Right, yeah. Okay. Yeah. goes 4.118.
The extension is half a metre longer than is allowed.
Problem we've got is the council's policy says that on a boundary you can only have 3.65 metres in external depth, and we've got an external depth on the boundary adjoining the property there of 4.15, so it's about 0.5 of a metre too deep. And although there is no right to view, you know, at that extra additional bit of depth, it's quite oppressive to somebody.
The council has the power to order demolition of the unlawful part. One week later, Tim has made a decision on the Rana's application.
Okay, right, just get by. The decision has been made to refuse the planning application, basically because the depth of the extension is contrary to policy, and we feel that this unfairly impacts on the light of the adjoining occupier to such a degree that it warrants a refusal of planning permission.
Next door neighbour Graham is pleased the council have taken a stand.
We haven't got anything against them personally, it's just against the extension and the way that they've gone about building it. You have to be considerate to your neighbours, and when someone builds a brick wall outside your window and knocks all your light out, then, you know, it's not on.
It's the worst possible news for the Ranas.
We have to remove all, you know, this, you know, dishwasher, this boiler, all these, washing machine, everything basically. It might cost us £2,000 to £3,000, yes.
Sometimes I'm very crying because I can't sleep all the night. Our children are upset as well. Yeah.
The Ranas are currently appealing against the council-issued enforcement notice in a last-ditch attempt to save their kitchen. Deep in rural North London, Planning Enforcement Manager Joe Henry has also received a complaint about something being built without planning permission.
Funny enough, the complaint has come from someone who wasn't happy with the action we were taking against him, and he decided to sort of say, what about him across the road? And we said, what about him across the road? Turns out it looks like his neighbour across the road is building a whole brand new house without planning permission.
Let me show you.
OK.
Joe and his colleague Jim Clark are investigating the allegations on site with the owner, Ken Bowman.
The old cottage was there.
Well, you're saying there was a cottage there?
Oh yes, on the plans. Oh yes, it's been there since God knows.
Ken used to run an electrical repair business, but in his retirement he's turned his hand to building.
Are you saying it was the same footprint or similar footprint?
Similar footprint, very similar, same width, and it's slightly longer.
When you said slightly longer...
After a casual conversation with the planning officer 20 years ago, Ken believed he didn't need permission to replace an original cottage on the site.
I mean, I'm only doing it myself. It's taken me 6 years to do it so far.
Are you just plodding along, are you?
Oh yeah, I do a bit each year. Can I just say,
yeah.
I want to use it as a barn with all the hay in it, you can see now, and a tap room upstairs.
Oh, so you don't want to use it as a house?
No, I don't want to use it as a house as such. That's why I've got the hay in there. We've got another load to come yet.
But you've got partitions like a house, but you want to use it as a barn?
Ken is adamant that his building is just a barn to store hay for his wife and daughter's horses, with an upstairs and a downstairs, separate rooms and a toilet.
Is this where the toilet's going to be?
Well, yeah, I said I'd make a toilet for them because they moan about in the winter having to go down to the house because they're real muddy and what have you. And
right, OK.
So that's the only thing I should do, if there's anything.
Nice little photograph there.
Joe and Jim need to know how visible the building is in the surrounding area.
Well, you're well screened around here anyway.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Let's go to the highest vantage point, because then we'll see whether we can see it. Well, I don't think I'll be doing a nice stroll in the countryside this morning. I'll just see if I can see anything.
He's just looking for the highest point of the land to see the views, see if we can see the development on it.
just went to the top of the hill. Kept going, find another corner, another hill. I thought, I'll better go up that hill. I've just done a quarter of a mile, I reckon, now. It's training for today. I must admit, it's quite a nice area. I didn't realise it was here.
Oh yeah, it's quite not many people walk around here. You've got to search.
Because they don't know it.
Possibly.
Someone found lures.
Yeah, they just sort of...
God, they'll be flocking here. Don't tell everyone where it is. They'll be flocking and think they're miracles. We'll have to poke round here next. All right, see a little bit of the house, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think you could probably see a vague outline, yes.
Not only has Ken constructed the building double the height of the original, but it also sits in greenbelt land, which is subject to some of the toughest laws in the country.
I have to say, my provisional view is that's unacceptable. It is a house, and it's built as a house. You might say you're going to use it for storage, but it's built for the purposes of being a house.
Well, yes, it was just built structurally to make it blend in with everything. Yeah.
Well, for definite. There was a dwelling there before, but in terms of planning law, I would say that the use was abandoned. It is substantially larger than was there before. The Greenbelt policy is very strict. It's not a council policy. This is a government policy, and we have to be fair, consistent, and apply policy the same for everybody.
As a self-taught builder, Ken knows his limitations.
One of the problems when I built this is I don't know how to build anything but a house. See, because I built the garage, and I built the extension on my house, and that's how I build things.
Whatever Ken intended the building to be, he's now got to await Joe's decision. His house building career may be coming to a sudden end. Four months ago, developer Gaetano Maddalena finally secured planning permission to convert this house into flats, despite repeated objections from his neighbour, fellow Sicilian Agostino Militello. But Gaetano has made a new application to reposition the flat's bathrooms. This brings him and Agostino back in front of the planning committee once more.
Mr. Militello, I think you know the rules. Yes.
Well, I oppose this change of the bathroom. This will be much noise from my bedroom, all this altogether.
Sorry to take your time once again.
But before any planning issues are considered, the developer produces a document that he believes will swing the vote in his favour.
Just to simplify something, I'd like you to have a look at this, and if I can have one for the chairman as well, why the gentleman here, Mr. Militello, is always here. The reason is because I didn't put a little signature in this agreement here. Try to improve the...
It seems that the two men have discussed a possible financial arrangement, whereby Agostino would receive £15,000 if he stopped his objections.
And Mr. Militello, as you can see there, what he's been after has been some serious understanding.
I'm not quite sure what you're arguing. I see in the facts you're offering Mr. Militello £15,000.
I wasn't offering £15,000. I suggest that I do some repair. I suggest him that maybe I can get an understanding to do something there. He had a meeting with me and he asked for £25,000. And then we end up sort of agreeing on 15,000. That was before the last time I was here. And my architect said to me, "You're just being very stupid. Why to give money away like this?"
I mean, the point I was going to say was, even whatever sum you're going to offer, Mr. Militello is clearly not happy with the development, regardless of what sum of money you were offering. So I'm not sure that this is actually relevant.
Excuse me, can we deal with planning matters of which this fax is not a planning issue?
We've been shown a fax which shows murky goings on in terms of money being promised from one person to another, which demonstrates to me that we have to be very careful in dealing with this application.
This is extremely unfair, the way Mr. Militello has been treated here.
Very much so.
Well, those in favour of this application, please show. Those against, please show. That is refused.
The developer's evidence seems to have backfired. His new application has been rejected. The bathrooms will stay where they are.
There's the winner. There's the winner. I think he got his sympathy and pity from the council. Thank you very much. I'm a bit upset.
10 weeks later, Gaetano returned to committee for the 6th time, and despite Agostino's objections, he was granted permission for a conservatory. To date, no further applications have been submitted.
Thing go up, thing go down.
In North London, Ken Bowman's house in the Greenbelt lies empty and unfinished. Enforcement manager Joe Henry is making a final visit before deciding whether it can stay or will have to be demolished. Ken's drawings for the house don't quite match up to the reality of what he's built.
Right, I'll put it tight. You're holding it up. That's not accurate that way. 12.4. 12.4, the drawing's showing 11.7. See, I knew I'd better check it. You can tell, you can smell these things. Drawing showing it shows a depth of 11.7 metres.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't that accurate.
It should have been.
Well, it's 12.4, so you're about 3/4 of a metre. Okay.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that's not going to be acceptable, but it'd be nice to see a drawing which is accurate.
I don't know why.
Yeah, fine.
I can't understand that, to tell you the truth.
Well, I can, because I've come across it every time.
Joe's decision is that the house has to go. But he will allow Ken to have a one-storey barn.
So, just the whole roof has come off, basically?
No. Well, it comes off slowly.
At least you'll get a better view from here.
Yes, it was a bit of a big thing.
Every cloud's got a silver lining.
Yes.
You can have a better view.
I mean, so what I visualise is that we start it and do it in 6-foot sections. I don't think we finish by a certain day, does it?
No, you're going to have to do it in one go. I don't want it there forever.
No.
One summer, spring, summer.
That's it.
Okay?
That's all right, yes.
One spring, summer, early autumn.
But not everything,
fine.
not the windows blocked up and everything. You can even
I want the roof down, yes.
The roof can be done, that's no problem.
Okay.
Come and see me this time next year and it'll be done.
This time next year? No, I said early autumn, so you're pushing it again.
Oh.
Early autumn, okay?
Thing go up, thing go down. Everything goes
Joe's decision leaves Ken reflecting on where he went wrong.
like a dog.
I should have said to the person I spoke to at the planning office, could you put this in writing for me? And one learns lessons in life. A verbal agreement is not worth the paper it's written on.
I mean, Mr. Bowman is an unusual person in a sense that he has been really cooperative. He realises he's been found out, he knows exactly the score. He knows that he's got no chance to get planning permission for that, and he's not even going to bother appealing.
Ken has finally got planning permission for a single-storey barn. He'll have to demolish the roof and second storey. It's a costly mistake for this amateur builder.
Jonathan Ross says it's a winner through and through. American buddy movie, I Love You Man, on film 2009. BBC One, next.